OV and I was standing out on the sidewalk talking. And OV said, that beauty shop down the street right there, that's my old lady shop. He said, but I can't go down there. And he started telling me why he couldn't go down there. And I said, OV, boy, I'd rather be blind, crippled, or crazy. Somewhere pushing up daisies than to let somebody do that kind of stuff to me. And he said, say that again. And I said, blind, crippled, and crazy. He said, that sounds mighty good. I said, well, let's go in there and see what we can do with it.
Okay.
So we walked in the studio and Charles was sitting at the organ and I said, hey, Charles, give me a line for this. And Charles just played a figure. And I said, that's it right there. Let's just write it. We wrote that song in about 15 minutes. It didn't take long and cut it in shorter time than that. When Bulldog and them got a hold to it,
It set it up.
it sat right in the pocket, and we looked around and the record was cut, man, just like that. I'm telling you. And I said, well, you know that now those are the kind of records let you know that it's a record from the beginning, because it automatically comes off.
That Ace of Spades and Blind, Crippled, and Crazy was,
Yeah.
it was two combinations of a rhythm that I got hung up in that I really never did understand. You know, because I was thinking of a cripple man, the way the rhythm came, with a trip to the beat. Ka-ding, ka-ding. Like a man be on one. The day that I met Chips, you know, Chips used to sit around and strum on the guitar.
Yeah.
He'd sit around. And, you know, once I got to know him, you know, I said, Chips, I don't know, I just fool around with the Howard. I ain't doing much or nothing. I'm just... But he could play. He could play. And Rufus Thomas had this record that we was trying to do called 'Cause I Love You. I was playing it in the nightclub with Tyler's group who I was working with. The rhythm was Jesse Hill, Ooh Poopy Doo.
Right.
The beat. Rufus was looking for this specific beat, and this specific beat that he was looking for, it wasn't working to what I was playing in the club. And Wilbur Steinberg, that was playing upright bass, Alfred Rudd played alto, and Bob Talley played piano, and I played drum. This was, back during that time, we had no guitar players. It was just a horn, one horn. And Wilbur told Talley, he said, let Howard play that beat in the club. So Chip's sitting there listening, because we're looking for this beat. So I went to playing this rhythm. And Rufus heard and Chip said, yeah. He said, that's it. He said, let's cut it right now. And it was the #1. And I wasn't but 12. I'm 12 years old. They trying to figure out how's a 12-year-old kid got this kind of talent. So Chips took to me. Give me thumbs up. I never forget, give me thumbs up. And he always smile. Give me thumbs up. And he shook his head. So they called me back. William Bell, I cut Don't Miss Your Water Till the Well Run Dry. It was a #1 hit. That was my second hit, 12 years old. Jim Stewart one day took a liking to Carla. And Rufus wanted to record Carla, so we didn't know what they were going to do, and hadn't in mind, didn't know the song was. So he brought his son in, Marvell. Marvell played piano. Had Sam Jones and the Veltones, which was the backup singers, Gee Whiz. So what happened? We couldn't cut it over satellite. We had to go over to high because the machine had broke down. Something had happened. Marvell Thomas played piano. Robert McGee played upright bass. I played drums. Sam Jones and the Veltones. That was it.
That you sit up and just sang Gee Whiz like that.
Hit record instantly, man. Those are my first 3 records. I remember Booker distinctly sitting down at this organ the day he'd come in, and he was learning how to pulling stops. He was just feeling, messing around, playing. And I was hearing these different sounds. And, you know, he started messing around with the sound, go, boop, 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 boop. And, you know, I remember in them old movies used to have the man with the monkey.
Yeah.
And he'd be turning. And I had heard these sounds, you know, and Booker was pulling them because he was testing the lesbian. And that's how the Popeye Stroll album come up. And Chips hooked the group up, and that's when he put me on drums, Duck Don on bass, Steve on guitar, and he had Floyd Newman, baritone, Gilbert Cable played tenor. He had Packy Axton played tenor, Wayne Jackson. This was the satellite band. This is where it all began, right there. I never told anybody it, so I'm giving away some information. Last night, Rhythm was played from Walking the Dog, which we called back then the heebie-jeebie. Bowleg used to give me the heebie-jeebie rhythm. That was heebie-jeebie. Rufus Thomas took it and used it as Walking the Dog and all of that. Okay, well, Curtis Green took the rhythm the way we was playing, Al Jackson and myself. We would play ducka 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 dum. Well, we cut tracks. It was always ba da 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 ducka 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 dum. Curtis Green took Last Night, the song Floyd Newman wrote, and vice versa the rhythm. He turned the rhythm backwards, which he made the roll like dubba 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 dum. And the last beat on the record when Last Night was going off the record, he would play, which was the same way we played. That's what it was.
Wow.
Simple, man.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Incredible.
Well, see, all of that was the same group because we didn't have as many artists at that time. So all the instrumentals was the Marquis, we were the Parquet, we were the Barracudas, you know, we were the Boat, you know, we were all one group.
Yeah.
They come up with these names. Yeah. The day they cut Green Onion was actually my shot, but I missed it. So I did later on come back. So I cut a hit on Eddie Floyd, was called On a Saturday Night. Now that's a beat that no drummer's been able to play.
Wow.
Because I found out some years later. Eddie Floyd told me, he said, you know what, Howard, it's a shame that a star can't even sing his hit record. He said, because a drummer can't even play what you played. He said, and a backbeat won't fit it. It's got to be played the way you played it. So he never got a chance to sing it until this year that I went to New Orleans when he didn't know I was with the Bokeys. And he said, hey, man, they didn't tell me you was going to sing my hit record. Then I went back. I didn't know David Pote and Isaac Hayes. I cut Sam and Dave first hit record, which was on A Place Nobody Can Find, Good Night Baby. And then Teeny turned around later and wrote I Take What I Want, so I went back and did that. Yeah. So it kind of made me kind of feel a part of Stack still. I was in the family, and I was grateful, you know, that I still was affiliated. They didn't too much forget me by me being the first black drummer come up there and had already cut Wendy Renee. We had Prince Conley. All these people, man, they had hit records. Well, you know, I have to give Floyd Newman the credit for that because when I was playing at Plantation Inn, Isaac Hayes was playing keyboard. I played this beat one night. Floyd heard it. I didn't know what I was doing. It felt good, and I played it. Floyd said, "That's you." Me? What are you talking about? He said, "That beat." He said, "Can you remember that?" So that gave me even more motivation to hear it off the radio. And then I'd hear it on Friday, Saturday night when people had been worked all the week and they'd have a good time. So they'd go out. And man, I'd sit there and be listening at that music, man, and never know one day that I was going to be playing this music or playing with these people.
Well, how about Howard Grimes, though?
Hello.
You see, there's only one drummer in this world that's got what he's got. Because I don't know nobody that knows the stomp like him. There is nobody else I know that can do it. I tried to get guys to do it in Los Angeles, and they all went crazy and told me I was nuts. That wasn't the way you did a session, and I was telling them all the time, that's funny, because I cut a whole lot of records with that beat when I could get somebody to play it. But you just couldn't find people that could play the backbeat and the stomp the way he does.
We, the Soul Detectives, we made this little thing for you because you deserve it. So
All right.
you get from us, you get an international award for all your. You've been playing since '53, right? Isn't that true? So that means you've been playing for 60 years. So, man, we give you this international award. We're not gonna wait for the Country Home Music of Fame or whatever. We're gonna do it ourselves.
The international
Hang it on your wall.
Thank you very much.
Ain't that something?
60 years of soul.
How about Memphis drummer?
Wow.
How about that?
That's
Well, it took a long time, but you deserve it, man.
Oh,
Yes,
man.
sir.
So it's from all of us.
Praise God, man. Thank
I know that's right.
I wish my mother was here.
Yeah. All right.
Bless her.
I'd be old.
That's all right, man. That's all right. I know how you
would
feel.
cry. I knew you would cry.
All right.
All right, Howard.
All right, brother. Yes, sir.
Man, you
What time
deserve
you
it.
God knows you
Yeah,
deserve it.
man.
You very much deserve it. man.
Yes, you do, boy.
God bless all of y'all. Thank you very much. Just touched me here, man.
But
I've been playing a long time. So many people have said, hey, man, you know, you deserve something. You know?
Yeah.
It's always a wait, man, until God shows
Well,
me.
actually, it should be accompanied. There should be this huge party with champagne and all.
Yeah.
And then with a big stage and you get the award. It should be like that, but we do it like this. We got some warm beer.
Yeah, I'm gonna drink one then. You got some beer, man.
I have it.
Yeah, I'd take a beer.
Yeah, man. Let me have one, man.